Late Night Ramble response part 2. Got a phone call. Picking up where I left off. So you can read Paul, and by doing this, it's like putting the literature that you was taught that was faith and true underneath a black light, and stuff will show up all over. And I found that it's very helpful, and it helped me also when I was studying Jewish ideas of Old Testament. I had to quit reading New Testament for like 2 years. Read nothing but Jewish commentary, Jewish literature, and Old Testament. Then I quickly read New Testament, and it was like putting it under a black light. So I guess that I can appreciate religious literature because I see it as a form of abstract expressionism. And after reading, like Campbell when he's young, those two really saved me from trashing the whole system and throwing everything out because, I seen the social, cultural, and personal value of metaphor. And if you're able to see it all as an expression, you can borrow bits and pieces and mix and match. After reading Plato's dialogues, I now see what Paul was talking about. But everywhere Paul talks righteousness, I'm thinking virtue now. And by doing that, it kind of opens up the playing field, which is pretty interesting. Another weird thing that happened to me was I had an Oedipus stop by, and I didn't know it was an Oedipus until he left. But this kid got in a fight with his stepdad. He stops by. He says, my family's probably going to send me into a boys' home, and I just got in a fight with him. I punched a wall. I left the premises. The cops are going to be coming. But he says, I wanted to stop down and see you and talk to you. So we talked quite a bit, And it's a neighbor kid. We've gone kayaking, taken kayaking once in a while. We talked about making the right decisions and bettering your situation. No matter how bad the situation is, you can make a choice to do the right thing. And I said, there's a lot of people going through the same kind of battles that you are. And you're not the only one. And you can choose to be the hero and run towards your fate and do the right thing. And if you feel you're going to be going to this boys' home, you can be an example and a leader to help some of these kids who were in a similar situation to make right choices. And then you can come out of this. Being a totally better person, and whatever happens, you can try to make right choices. And I told them that sometimes right choices are hard because maybe you don't know what they are. So that's what you need to find out. And it's a good kid. Well, I thought he was a good kid. It just mismanaged. The whole situation was mismanaged, I think. But when he left, I was like, I kind of felt maybe he was an Oedipus, or Rusty's. As I was thinking about it more, but when you put it in that context, and you see a Rusty's or an Oedipus standing in front of you, it kind of blows your mind, So I think that religious literature still I find very moving. Especially one thing that stuck with me is the poetry in Christian evangelical hymns, especially by Wesley, um, Charles Wesley. So I still love the poetry in it. Very colorful, very uh, heartfelt imagery on this type of Christian philosophy. But I think that in the end, if I was ever going to be a Christian, I'd be a Christian like my dear mother. Um, she doesn't proselytize. She doesn't get on me about it. She's not always, uh, uh, harping on. But I think that her actions, in the way that she views the world, and the way that she views other people, and the way that she impacts other people's lives, and the respect that she has for people, um, that in itself is a real virtue. And I would probably be, a Christian just like that. But um, then again, uh, a lot of times I refuse the philosophy simply because I don't want to end up being, like a notch on somebody's belt, or just another person that, they made the sale to and won. Uh, it needs to be more than that. It needs to be more than just an emotional response, or a cultural response, or a, you know, uh, historical response. Like, oh, Christianity's old, blah, blah, blah. That's why you should sign up. It needs to be more than that. And a lot of times, I have no idea what virtue is. I'm still trying to find that out. Somebody asked me that in a video, like, on a video, like, wait a minute, what do you think virtue is? I have no idea. On the other hand, I realize that a lot of people don't know what salvation is. And a lot of people don't know what righteousness is either. And there's a lot of answers to that. And very few people have good answers to that. That's why there's so many denominations and so many views of theology. They would like us to believe that every Christian believes that Christ was raised from the dead. That's false. When they try to, create some kind of, unity, that's not true. There's 1,000 ways of looking at it, and I'm just one. So, I don't know. I finally got through this. I was interrupted a whole bunch of times, but take care, Graceful, and be well. Keep reading, keep thinking, because there's a lot to that. And it's pretty important knowing that you don't know. But when you know, you end up being a creator and destroyer of worlds. Be well, friends, and remember, if everybody's thinking alike, then somebody isn't thinking.